What are the levels of consultation? Well, mutual consultation should take place in all matters at all levels. So, I mean, you have a perfectly uh, personal matter. Obviously, there are certain matters you would not want to share with others. Well, that's up to you. But any important matter that you want to take a decision on, education, marriage, business, etc. In fact, travel plans, you know, why would you not consult? Uh, because when you consult, you get more perspectives. So even at an individual level, we consult. And by the way, obviously, when we consult others, the most important source is the Almighty. We do istikhara, dua of istikhara, which is actually asking the Almighty to help us in coming to the right decisions. But when it is a matter of family, consultation is important. Fine. The husband has been made the in charge, responsible, but his responsibility is going to be discharged by him consulting others. So, at the level of family, consultation is important. If a person takes the charge of the entire family in his hands without consulting others, he'll be taking wrong decisions. He'll be in trouble. Not only him, but his family as well. Consultation also gives people importance. You feel that you're being consulted. But when it comes to institutions, not the personal matter of an individual, not family matters. In family, the husband and the wife, and obviously if kids grow, they too should be consulted. But if husband and wife, the husband must consult his wife. The only occasion when the Almighty advises wives to give in is when neither of them is agreeing. They both seem to be going for two different ways. Their views are different. They'll talk to each other. A good husband would always discuss and try to reach conclusions together. But if there is a dispute which continues to remain, then wives have been asked to give in. Although I'm telling you, uh, we see from the model of good people of the Prophet ﷺ himself as well, that good husbands would normally give in to what wives are saying, unless they're firm that no, this is a matter where I'm sure about. So, but when it comes to collective matters, whether you have an institution, whether you have a country, any administrative unit will have certain principles and rules to follow. Obviously, when administration is taking place on a day-to-day basis, there has to be a boss, like is in the case of family. But wherever matters are to be decided, important decisions are to be taken, has to be consultation. And when consultation takes place, you have to come to a final conclusion. The best conclusion would be that they all agree, all participants agree. But what if they don't agree? In the case of family, I've already mentioned that the Almighty has given the right of veto to the husband. But in the case of other collective matters, it is always going to be the majority decision. A person is the boss. He's taking the normal day-to-day decisions. But when it comes to situations where there are important decisions to be taken, then advice of each participant is to be sought, and then finally it has to be decided on the basis of mutual consultation, consensus. If not consensus, then by the majority. It is not something that is advisable. It is mandatory. It is a must. And the same obviously holds true in the case of the state when you're running the affairs of a country. As I said earlier, the spirit of mutual consultation is what we see right from the beginning. And we have a very clear verse which makes it binding on believers to take their decisions on the basis of mutual consultation. So, how is it possible that this process would not be followed at the level of a nation, a country? Now, things change. Societies have evolved. There was a time when it was absolutely correct to mention that the Muslim population, which was confined to the Arabian Peninsula, does not know any other leadership except Quraysh. Uh, but then obviously the Muslims spread out all over the world. There was no more the supremacy of the leadership of Quraysh. Muslims did not come up with the alternative based on mutual consultation. Let's thank the Western society that they have come up with democracy. It's an idea. I'm not saying it's perfect. It has its flaws. Those flaws need to be removed. But democracy is based on the basic Islamic principle of mutual consultation. It will be naive, strange, I would say arrogant on our part to say, well, we'll not do it. We'll not follow it because it's not coming from Muslim. No, we should look for ideas from all over the world, wherever we can get good, models to follow, provided they are in line with the Islamic principles. And the Islamic principle is mutual consultation. Democracy is one way of achieving mutual consultation. Obviously, the democratic setup has to improve. It should evolve, as indeed it is evolving everywhere.